We begin with some storm weather around Houston, particularly northern side. It's causing some problems. Meteorologist John Dawson has a first look at the forecast. Hello, JD.
Yeah, Tom, happy Father's Day to you, and I hope everybody's been safe out there with some of this stormy weather that we're dealing with. And Tom, you're right. Just going to start just to sort of show everybody what we're talking about. First of all, if you're south of downtown Houston, there's just not a lot happening on the radar right now. But for those of you north of downtown Houston, there's been plenty of activity happening on the radar within the last couple of hours. And as we look out to the northwest, we begin to see that there's even more rain that's headed our direction. So right now, the heaviest of the thunderstorms are over, kind of moving towards Chambers County and into Liberty County is where we're seeing this darker shades of red and orange. That's kind of what we're looking at as far as the stronger storms heading down into Chambers County. We'll continue to watch those storms, but we're also beginning to watch a little bit more to our west. And as we just see moving into the Hempstead area, this stronger sort of disorganized line of storms, that's going to have problems maintaining its strength as it gets over where we've already seen quite a bit of rain. So that's the good news. But in the meantime, though, it is dropping quite a bit of rain and it's happening quite quickly. I do want to talk about just sort of those numbers as far as what we're seeing across the area as far as the rain at the moment. I'm going to stop our lapse here for you and talk about a little bit of that accumulation that we've been seeing, because that's the big numbers. That's why we're beginning to see some of those rainfall totals that are very high. So that's the 12-hour rainfall accumulation. And what we've been noticing is this is where we, of course, have a flood advisory that's been issued by the National Weather Service. So I want to show you that some of these numbers are pretty high as far as that rainfall that we've seen around the Spring area, around the airport, Intercontinental. We've had as much as 2.5 to 3 inches of rain that have fallen, and that's a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and that's why we have that flood advisory that has been issued. So no warnings at the moment, no watches at the moment. We'll continue to watch and sort of maintain the rain that we've been seeing. I want to show you one of our TransStar cameras right now, because this is kind of what a lot of us have been dealing with. This is going to be I-10 East at North Main, and that is really what I want us to be cautious on right now. Is if you are driving around, let's use a little extra caution than what you've been normally using, because it doesn't take long to run into one of these heavy downpours that puts some water on the roadway, so helps prevent you from hydroplaning. And certainly if there's been enough water that's gathered on the roadway that you can't see how deep the water is, let's not go into that. So that's our main concern right now with our driving around. I want to show you again sort of a bigger picture. I was talking about those storms that are coming into the Hempstead area. They've really been tracking down from Dallas, and we'll continue to sort of see those storms moving on through. Here's one of our tower cams looking back at the Galleria area. You can see the darker clouds, the stormier looking weather. But basically, where we haven't seen the rain, we're continuing to maintain some higher temperatures, upper 80s. Feels like temperatures, though, about 97 degrees, so very warm overall. As I mentioned, at the big airport right now, they've seen rain recently, so it's only 74 degrees. Over in Bay City, we're looking at 86 degrees, and those feels like temperatures even warmer. The pattern that we saw today, where we relatively quiet in the morning, a very active afternoon, that's the possibilities that I think we're going to see again for tomorrow. We get into Tuesday and Wednesday, very typical June pattern, where we have lower 90s on the thermometers. We have 20 to 30% chance of those afternoon storms popping up, and then it looks like we'll have a little bit more activity around the area once we get into Thursday. For the moment, it does look drier as far as rainfall is concerned, but still very warm and humid once we get to next weekend.